Alright, here's the kits that I've got for this set of carburetors. Came from, got it off eBay. Set of Moose carb kits. I've been using Shindy for a while, and I really haven't had real bad luck with them, but I don't know, they seem really sensitive to maybe just the slightest amount of trash, or maybe it's just a needle in seat, I don't know. But out of the couple of handfuls that I've done, I have had 3 or 4 give me trouble with the float needle not wanting to seat. No matter what I did, no matter where I set the float, it always dripped fuel on me. So I'm going to try this set and see what happens, and if I still don't have good luck with these, I'm going to probably start just using all OEM Yamaha stuff and see what that does, because kind of gets annoying. But so like I said, these are off eBay, and I think they were like, I don't know, 18 bucks, 20 bucks a pop, and I'll show you what all comes in them. You're gonna have in one kit, when you go on there and you buy a Banshee carburetor kit, be sure that you buy 2, because even though there is 2 on a Banshee, they only sell you 1 kit. So you're gonna get a new gasket. This O-ring is for a tour setup, which hopefully you don't have. You're gonna get 2 new clips for your needle clip for your needle. I guess because maybe they're so small in case you drop one, because they sure don't send you 2 of everything else. You're gonna get a new needle, a new brass seat for your main jet. You're gonna get a pilot jet, and they send you 2 different pilots, 2 different series. You're gonna use a pilot jet that goes to yours. What you do is just match it up. There's an old one and there's a new one, so that's what you're going to use. You're going to get I have no idea what that is. I guess it goes in the tour setup also. Sure doesn't go here. And here's your new idle screw, not idle screw, I'm sorry, your air mixture screw and the spring that goes behind it. And then last but not least, you will get a new needle and seat. And it just comes with this little rubber boot around it for protection. Like that. There's a new O-ring on it, of course, and your new needle and seat. So that's what you'll get in each kit. Okay, and then we're going to put in our main new brass washer. Then you put your main jet back in. And don't slip up and put the main that came with the kit back in it unless you have a complete stock setup, because the main jets that come in the kit are going to be stock mains. So put the main back in that you were running previously. Say you had a 300 main in, go ahead and put your 300 main back in and snug it up. Just get it about as tight as it was when you took it out. Now that's back in. Then we're going to go back in with our pilot jets, making sure I got the right one set aside here. Okay, this one here, pilot jet just drops right in, like so. Tighten it up. Get a few things out of my way real fast so I don't slip up. Okay, so we have our pilot in already, we have our main jet in already, we have our needle, our seat in with the retainer. Then we can put in our float. And the needle just hangs on like so, hangs on the float, just like that. All right, and then we're going to drop it in, just like so. And then get our pin in, like that. Then remember, we had to knock this out a little bit. So what I always do, the way I do it, was I grab the big mushroomed end, and then I grab it on the back side just a little bit with some needle nose and push it right in. Like that. Now it's in. Okay, so now the only thing left in here is our splash guard, which I showed you how that goes on. Just like that. We're done. Float height. Show you all the float height. Float height, you can eyeball it. The best way to eyeball it is just turn your carb upside down, and you want the top of your float, like right here, perpendicular with this. So you'd want it about right there is perfect. That right there is a little bit low. it's not going to allow as much fuel in the bowl. And the higher your float sits, the more fuel you're going to have in there. So I'm actually going to measure this float height real quick to be sure that it's okay. Let me grab my caliper. Let's say between 19 and 22 for the float height. I always set mine right around the middle. Sometimes even 19, depending on the engine. The lower the number, the higher your float is going to sit when the carb is upright, and basically it'll allow more fuel in the bowl. Set my calipers. And the way you measure, I got my caliper set for like 20 millimeters, and you measure from where the gasket sits to the highest part of the float, like so. Let me see what that measurement is. It looks like it's actually set right at 19. That's about where I like it. So let's see. Yeah, it's right about 19, so it's fine where it's at. But again, you don't have to do all that. Just eyeball it. As long as they're sitting pretty well level like they are, you're fine. If they're sitting way down like that, that's not going to work. You're going to suck the bowls dry really fast. And if they're sitting too high up, then what's going to happen is it's going to float out on you. So at this point, you're good. You can put your bowls on. Be sure you look at the carb and be sure you know which one you're working with. This is the right side carburetor. It doesn't have the choke on it, so you want to be sure you use the right bowl. This bowl here, without this little, see if you look at this carb, it's got this little brass ball here. So what that is, that's your choke circuit. That it connects to the choke circuit inside there. So if you were to use this carb on the right, this bowl on the right carburetor, your choke circuit wouldn't work. So be sure you get that right. Let's put the bowl on right, shall we? So it goes on just like that. And the way you know that this isn't far enough, if it won't go on, then you know then your pin's not in far enough. So that's good to go. And set your new gasket on. Set your bowl back on. Okay, and then these deals here, the sharp edge faces up towards you, and they're going to be on the back side of the carb, on the big end, on the airbox side back here. Alright, then I always double check them with a screwdriver to be sure they're tight, because I don't set my drill to get them tight at all. Alright, so now we've got our bowl set, good to go. Last thing is our air mixture screw. Put the spring in, drop the screw in, run it all the way in, lightly seat it just till it stops. There, stop there, and then come back out. So I always count half turns. Half, 1.5 turns. I always start mine at 1.5. So at this point, this carb is good to go. You're ready to go. You can move on to the other. Let me go ahead and show you the slide assembly real fast. Here's my new needles. I already put the clip in the right position, so you just drop it in just like so, and then your retainer, you want to line up this hole, this big hole in the retainer with that large hole in there. Because what happens if you don't, as this slide travels up and down the carburetor, see on top of the carb under the throttle cap there's a rubber O-ring, and what happens is it kind of acts as a compressor, kind of. As it travels up, the air has nowhere to go, so it could make your throttle a little harder. And also, if the air does happen to seep out of the top, then what's going to happen is when you let off the throttle, you're going to have a vacuum built up on top, so your slide may not want to drop and your throttle might hang on you. So if your throttle seems kind of hard or it's kind of sticking every now and then, you know, I want to take a look at that and be sure that that is set up like that. That's the way it should go. Put your screws back in. That one's done. Okay, the other carburetor is the exact same thing. The exact same setup. You're not going to do anything different other than your choke plunger. And to put that back in, there's nothing to it. You just slide it in and tighten it up. There's nothing to it. So I really don't need to show you the whole process all over again. But that's all there is to it, guys. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was on the slide. The way the slide goes in, I was saying that you can get them backwards. I'm going to show you the easiest way to know if they're backwards or not. It's kind of hard to explain, really. For me it is anyway. The easiest way to know is when you put your slide in, you want to be sure that when you look at the back of the carburetor, the side facing the air box, you want to be sure that you can see that crescent shape on the bottom of the slide right there. If not, that slide is backwards and it's not going to run. It won't even idle. It'll idle for 5 seconds, load up, die on you. That's it. Other easiest way to tell before you even put it together is as you're dropping the slide down in there, you need to be 100% sure that this window here, or this dot, is going to be on the same side as that window, because you can take the other carb slide and put it in there that way, but it's going to be backwards. This dot's actually going to go on the wrong side of the carb, but if you're not paying attention, you won't notice that, and the slide will drop right in just like you would expect. But look there, the wrong side of the slide is facing the back, and it shuts off the air. And you'll notice that whenever you take the slide out, that there's your window, but the dot's on the wrong side. And that's it, guys. Nothing to it. Y'all have a good one.